When you receive your file after making the purchase, you'll get a zip file, and when you open it up, there are two spreadsheets in it. The master spreadsheet, which controls the whole thing, and the spreadsheet that is sent to the players. The first thing you need to do is open the master file, and when you open it, it'll look something like this, and it'll open on the instruction sheet. This just explains what you need to do, but what's important here is to come over here and decide how the sweepstakes is going to work. So we've put in some default entries. So for example, if the person gets the right result, they get 3 points. If they get team 1's correct number of goals, they get 1 point, etc. So we've included a number of defaults. Have a look at them and make sure you're happy with them. We have included a few options which you may want to switch off, but which we find just helps even out the players. So there's some luck here where if your net goals is correct, even though it's the wrong way, you get some points. So we just find it keeps people more engaged, and luck can play a little bit of a part. Once you have decided how the scoring is going to work, you can then go back and send this file to all the players. In your email, you probably need to just explain how the scoring is going to work, but these are the files that need to be sent to all the players, which they will then complete and will have to send back to you. When the players receive the file, they'll open it up. There's an instruction page, but what they need to do is go to the player sheet. So the very first thing they must do is go over here and enter their name. This is going to be used to differentiate who's who in the sweepstakes. Then they need to just go through and predict the scores. And it's simply a case of entering the scores. So for example, I'm going to go for 1-0 here, maybe a 3-0 here. As they enter the scores, what you'll see is on the right hand side here, the tables automatically update. So you can see who's coming where in the groups. And this includes a section on the third place. So as you capture more and more scores, you'll see the tables will start showing who's going to be in the next rounds. Just to show you what happens after that, so we've already got one completed. So here we've got a completed version, so you'll see we've captured all these scores. It's resulted in the group standings. And then the knockout stage will auto-populate, so it'll give you all the teams. And then it's just a case of predicting what's going to happen there. Note that in the knockout stage, the scores aren't important, we just need to know a winner. So it doesn't really matter if you put 1-0 or 2-1 or try and guess whether there's penalties or not. Rather just make sure that you set up that one of the teams wins, and that will flow through, and the player has to predict right till the finals, including the third place match. Once the player is happy with what they've got, they need to save it and send it back to the organizer. Once the organizer receives the files back, he needs to capture all the predictions into the master file. So you'll see there's up to 50 sheets with the player 1, 2, 3, etc. And all the person needs to do is go to the prediction sheet, copy from cell F9 all the way down to J84, so copy it, and then go to the master file, and in cell T9 right click and paste special as values. That's very important, paste special as values. So you'll see that's now captured, so player 1's captured, And as long as they've entered their name, the name will come through. You can change the name over here. So we can now go, let's get a second set of predictions. So we can go here, highlight that, copy it, go to the master file, go to player 2, and don't forget paste as values, which is very important. Just make sure it looks like it's working. Once you've captured all the players' prediction, that's it. From then on, the spreadsheet will work on its own. If you want to see, the main driver here is the master file. What you'll see is initially these will be blank. This is where the actual scores will come. The tables will update. Notice we've given a little statistic here of what all the players predicted. So at the moment we've only got player 1 and 2, but we can see that both players have predicted France winning. So you can actually, as the tournament goes, see how many people have predicted what result. During the tournament, as the matches are played, the scores will be automatically updated. So when you open up the spreadsheet, it'll check, and if there are any scores, they'll be updated here. Just to show you, over here we've got something called actual results, and this is where the scores will appear. You can actually also experiment a bit, so if you wanted to, you could put a result in. So I'm going to put in let's make it 2-0. When actual results appear here, when you go back to the master file, you'll see it's blacked out, which now tells us that's an actual result. And if we go look at the individual players, you'll see that has been grayed out and the points have been scored. So depending on what was predicted, that person will get their points. If you go to player 2, so you can see this one is a little bit closer, so they've got more scores. So you'll be able to see what's happening here and then assess how things are going. To see how the sweepstakes as a whole is going, we've got an overall point section. And what you'll see, this will show you all the players and what their scores are in order. And we've got a points chart. Now at the moment this shows every player because we're assuming you'll use all 50. But once you've decided how many, all you need to do is hide the players that aren't involved. So I'm going to go up to there, right click and hide. And what you'll see is when you go to the points chart, only those players will be involved and you'll be able to see the progression. So let's see, we'll go put another result in. So as we start putting in more results, points change, and the points chart starts to show you who's progressing, how much they jump by, etc. Once all the group matches are played, what will happen then is the second sheet will start being filled, which is the knockout rounds, and that's where the file will then allocate points depending on, for example, this person thinks Germany is going to get through, so if Germany does get through, they get points for correctly predicting which teams will get through. And obviously the more and more correct you predict, the further and further your teams will go and the more likely you are to win.